went into the temple and he released all the sacrificial animals. So he stopped the sacrifices. He released the animals from the temple. And then he flipped over the money-lender's table. Right, when Jesus, that's your self, your higher self, enters into the temple, which is your brain, your pineal gland. Okay? I've alluded to this in the past. I've said that when God arrives in your house, he has a look around and doesn't like the furnishings. He moves things around. Right. So he releases the animals, the sacrifices, the animals that are murdered for your taste buds. And if just think about it, how you value your life. Do you think an animal, animale, it means animated soul or an animated spirit. Do you think that animal, values its own life? It certainly doesn't want to die for the sake of your carnal taste buds. So anyway, Jesus released the animals from the temple. He also said to the Pharisees, "You look like whitewashed tombs." So he's associating them with death. Beautiful on the outside, but full of dead things on the inside. Energy is life. If there's no energy, it's death. That's what death is. There's no energy anymore. When you're born, you have a finite amount of energy that will power your body for a specific period of time. And then that energy peters out, and the biological entity that you call the body dies. Right. Now, depending how the occupant of that biological entity treats the biological entity, that will dictate how long the body lives. It's also what you've inherited. The things that you've inherited from your forefathers. In other words, your genetic hand-me-downs. Or the genetic illnesses that you might have inherited. You don't know this, but it might be the case that 200 years ago, somewhere in your bloodline, that your sister got shagged by her brother. Wonder what kind of an effect that would have on your DNA. That's why it's written in the Torah. God says, "Come to me and I will make you perfect." Make you. Now that's the physical side of things, but there's obviously a spirit side of things. The spirit is consciousness. It is energy. So Jesus flipped over the moneylender's table. The table. What is money? Money is symbolic of energy. So if I do a job for you, I have expended some of my life energy achieving something for you, but I need something for that, so you give me money in exchange for my energy. But that's an external manifestation of what's within. So when you eat something, what you have consumed becomes you. It is transmuted, if you will. So if you are eating dead things, what will that give you? If you are eating living things, what will that give you? This is simple, people. This is not hard. If you've got, I've said this before, if you've got a Ferrari and it's a petrol V12 and you put diesel in it, don't be surprised if the performance is shite. The same thing is applicable to the body. Your body is a Ferrari. Even if you have inherited genetic, think of DNA as a book, and let's say that the scribes of the book, in other words, previous generations, your ancestors, have made a mess of the book. So you might have inherited some bad stuff. Now you need to raise your energy to overcome those things, and it's consciousness that rewrites that stuff. DNA is not something, DNA is not inanimate. It is a fractal antenna. It sends and it receives. But if it was written in such a way that the grammar is all fucked up, then that needs to be corrected, and it's corrected by the architect. The architect is your higher self, commonly known as Jesus. And Jesus and the Father being the universe consciousness, they are one. And your ego, that voice in your head, is experiencing the illusion of separation. That's why meditation is of paramount importance. That's how you seek the truth within. So the money lenders, the table's getting flipped. Let me get that to you. We all know the system is rigged. We all know it's corrupt. Of course it is. It's because it's all egoic. Everything that the ego has generated is just a copy of what's already within. But because it's a copy, it's corrupted. It's horseshit. At the moment, you eat something and your body takes what it can and turns that into energy, and it does that at a cellular level in the mitochondria. Incidentally, in the wilderness they built the tabernacle. The tabernacle is a model of human cellular biology as well as conception. So right, Jesus flipped the tables over. So at the moment you feed yourself to maintain energy levels. When the tables get flipped, you become like the sun, that big yellow orb in the sky. Science tells you that it's powered from within, that it's a nuclear reaction. Well, I ask you this: if it was powered from within, and they'll tell you that its core temperature is something like 15 million degrees or something absurd, then why is the surface of the sun, where the black spots are there, why are the black spots black? If the centre of the sun was hotter than the surface, there would be no black spots. There would be spots which would radiate a different light in the light spectrum. It would be a different colour. It would not be black. The sun is not powered from its core. The sun is powered from outside. The sun receives energy from what they call space, the ether, call it whatever you want. It's conscious. So the surface of the sun is 5,000 or 6,000 degrees Celsius, but the corona, the crown of the sun, is several million degrees. That doesn't make any sense, just using basic logic and basic reasoning. If it was powered from the centre would be the hottest, then the surface would be hotter than the atmosphere. But the exact opposite is the case. Now at the moment, the human body is powered by the food that we put in. You eat an apple, the apple is turned into energy and it powers the body. Apple is a living thing. If you eat dead flesh, your body has difficulty turning that into energy because it's second-hand energy. It's death. God's sake. If you're eating dead flesh and you're wondering why you feel like shit and wondering why that you can't, wondering why your mental landscape is such a mess, well, there you go. You have to release the animals from your temple. And then your mental landscape will clear up. It's no good having, let's say, a body that looks great and healthy on the outside if the mental landscape looks like the Somme. When the tables get flipped, you will no longer need to be fed by the outside world, i.e. by taking physical sustenance. You will be fed from the ether, like the sun. There has been a shift in the way the body transmutes energy. The Israelites received quails from above when they were in a place called Elim, E-L-I-M. It's an anagram. It says I'm El, which means I'm God. You're all gods. But it takes time for the body to adjust to the new environment. It's not climate change outside, this is climate change within. Recycling. Cleaning up the world. Not the outside world, the Father will take care of that. It's cleaning up the world where you live, in your biological avatar. So you'll receive energy from an external metaphysical source. That's what it means to have the tables flipped. Some might say, oh, is that breatharian, or... I don't know. I'm still eating physical stuff. But I do know there's going to be a change when the tables get flipped. And this will happen in due time. Okay? Jesus, your higher self, is the shepherd. And he is gathering his sheep. And he'll leave the 99 to look for the one. Make sure you're the one. So your higher self, Jesus, is the individuation, the small piece of consciousness from the universe, which is the Father. And when all the sheep have been gathered, when the flock have been gathered, they will be put somewhere safe and looked after. Because that's what a father does to, or a shepherd does to his sheep. Protects it from the wolves, you see? I get some pretty hard emails. Some very, very sad emails. But I've been, the places that these people are in, I have been in. And it is truly a miserable fucking experience. And that's part of the journey, that's what makes it difficult. But you've got to get through that. You've got to respond to the simple instructions. Now, I can't be tickling people's ears about this stuff. I can't tell you what you want to hear. I am not going to feed the carnal mind. I'm not going to feed the ego. I'm going to say it how it is. And those words will land where they may. The rest is up to you. I can't save anybody. You have to do that yourself. Yourself, your higher self does that. But you have to tune into it. You have to go within. You've heard the phrase, reaching out. During the difficult journey, you will reach out. That's fine. But you have to turn it around. You have to reach within. I can't stress this enough. You can't be dependent on anybody else. You have to reach within and become a dependent of your higher self. This is what it means when he said, love your neighbour as you love yourself. So when you know yourself, you'll know that the neighbour is the ego, and the ego gets lifted up. It reaches for the heavens. That's what it means. If you was living next door to, a convicted child rapist murderer, love your neighbour as you love. Have fun with that. Can you imagine the mental fuckwittery of loving somebody that raped and murdered children? Really? Well, that's what religious people teach you. Meditation cleans your psychology. It gets all that crap out. And when you're meditating, you're not trying to do anything. You simply be. Turn your five senses inwards, and you don't do any of this on your own. Your own higher consciousness will guide you. These words, these things I'm saying, if it's ringing true with you, if it's like a slap in your face, as I watched yesterday, much to my amusement, then something is resounding with you. There's a part of your consciousness that recognizes this. There's a part of yourself that recognizes the truth when it hears it. That's what you need to turn into. That's where you need to go. I'm just a signpost saying this way, nothing more. Zion. The ancient word is Sion. It means a signpost along the way. Benson, my surname, if you translated that into ancient Hebrew, it would be Ben Sion. Ben means son, son of Zion. It doesn't mean I'm particularly special. It doesn't mean that I hold anything over you. We're fucking equals. But you need to find the equity within you. You won't find it in me. I've got mine. I can't give it to you. If I could give it to you, I would. But I can't. And I know that. The only thing I can do is explain things to you in a often harsh and very direct way. I'm not selling anything. I don't want anything from you. I'm giving. You just need to take it in and chew it over. There's nothing more powerful than this. There's nothing more powerful than being enabled. To having that light inside turned on. Because you'll think about nothing else. And I don't mean that in an obsessive way. So when that lamp's burning brightly, why the fuck would you look at anything else? It's that light within that lights up your path, that guides you. If your lamp isn't burning brightly because of the things you're doing or thinking, then you need to go within to tune that lamp in, to dial it in. It's your lamp. You need to put the proper oil in it. You're the one that needs to clean the glass, the lens, so that it can be seen burning brightly. And it burns bright for you. And then what's in goes out. And then you'll be a gobshite like me. And you won't put up with shit. In fact, I was in a petrol station this morning, and you gotta wear a mask. I don't have to wear a mask. And she just kept going on and on, the virtue signaling, filthy swine. It's written, many are called, few are chosen. They all get the call. They're too blind, too fucking deaf to see it or hear it. And that's none of my business. But they make me their business. Fucking detestable. So when they start getting wiped out in their millions, let me spell this out for you, right? So there's absolutely no misunderstanding. When they start dropping like flies, I don't give a fuck. The fucking streets will be lined with the dead and dying. This is how big this is. As their internal light, their lamp goes out. They've lost the energy. It's been taken from them. You'll walk on the dead. It'll be like a fucking carpet. And trying to talk to these people and trying to explain to these people, you may as well headbutt the fucking wall in Jerusalem like those religious yids do. Fake Jews. Liars. Morons. And all this world wants you to do is do what they want. Babylonian fuckwits. Shitweasels. And yes, I'm fucking ranting because I'm sick to death of it. I am sick of these slaves. Following their leaders. It's retarded. It's fucking dumb. Let them take the vaccines. Let them follow their political leaders. Let them all hold their hand, each other's hands on the wide path to destruction. I'm not interested in them. I don't have any fucks for those people. None. I don't know them. They're not known. They're dross. Fucking chaff. Can you imagine if heaven was full of politicians and religious leaders and their followers? I wouldn't want to go there. Fuck that, because that place is hell. Because it would replicate the shite that we've got here now. And the sooner that shit disappears, the better. So in the meantime, those of you that get this, those of you that understand this, not intellectually, but with every fibre in your body, get used to being the new Jew, because you will be fucking hated. Because you'll say it how it is, and they won't get it. They'll all huddle together like fucking morons, and they all think strength in numbers. Together they stand, and fucking divided they'll fall. That's what's happening. Everything they ever believed in, all the institutions, all the bullshit, it's all going to be exposed as lies. But these people are so blind and they cling to the lies because they love the lies, is that they'll cling to it even harder. Like the captain that holds the steering wheel, the helm's wheel of a ship that's sinking. He's going down with his ship. What a fucking knobhead. Just get off it. Get off their ship. Build your own fucking ark. All these spiritual people out there talking about love and all the rest of it. Horse shit. The love is within you. That's what you've got to find. It's inside you. As it's written, do not love anything in this world, because if you do, the love of the Father is not in you. This place is going to change. At the moment, it's just in survival mode. Birth, decay, death. Birth, decay, death. Birth, decay, death. Wash, rinse, fucking repeat. That cycle's coming to an end. And it's just going to be life. No death. No time. When you raise the energy, the kundalini in your body, your chakras get realigned. They become the upright pole. And each one is a signpost along the way. That's what you do. That's what your self does internally. That conscious intelligence. Now the Father does exactly the same, but he does it with the solar system. He's going to realign the planets to how they were. And when the planets are realigned, the energy will shoot between the planets like a massive kundalini. They call it a Birkeland current. Look it up. Birkeland. Birkeland current. And that will shoot through the planets. That's the return of the Father. It'll take 5 days. But before that happens, humanity will wipe itself out. The unenlightened will wipe themselves out. Will the Babylonian ship weasels attack the children? Yes, they will. Keep a low profile. But don't worry about what they do to you physically. If they start attacking you, you'll just go into your secret place and shut the door. You'll feel nothing. By that stage of the game, you'll be God in the flesh.